Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm trying to get this bag on my camera because it's a little bit drizzly. I'm down at the beach, and I don't know if you remember a while back I took photographs of a bench seen here, probably, oh my god, probably a few years ago now. I've come back today because I just thought I want to take another photograph of the bench, and the skies are perfect. It's just like a big blanket up there, so there's no harsh contrast or anything like that that's going to interfere with my photography. I'm only going to do a few shots. I've got a roll of Silvera 100 film, which I believe is Oro film, which is a great film. I love it. And so I'm literally just going to do a few shots here and then get back in the darkroom. I'll show you the scene, what I'm working on. That's the scene I'm working on there. That's the bench. That's the same bench I took a photograph of a few years ago. But you can see the sky is like a complete blanket. And although it's windy, it's a little bit drizzly, I like these kind of skies. You can get a very simple, simplicity kind of photograph, you know, which is what I'm going to be going for. The only thing is to decide is how to meter up. Hello, mate. The camera went. Right, so it's a bit windy. I've just met Damien. He's laughing away. Yeah, I bet you are. A little shit. Oh dear. Right, where was I? There's not much contrast, so there's no point in me doing anything fancy like pulling the film or anything like that. I'm just going to go for a straight meter on the shadows, use my spot meter, find out where middle grey is, and then work it out from there, whereabouts I want to place that on the black and white zone. So I'm going to envision that sky, I don't want it to be pure white, so if I have to just try and just burn it out a little tiny bit, maybe in a dark room, I don't know, until I get the negative back and see what I'm doing. But I'm literally just going to shoot a few frames here. I might find another scene over there that I fancy, but it depends on this weather. So let's do a quick meter up on that, on the darkest part. So 1/8 of a second at f11, but that's thinking the meter's looking at that as being middle grey. I don't want it to be that light. I want to darken that down a little bit. So I'm going to go 2 stops. So I'm going to come to 30th of a second and at f11. So although the meter is seeing that at a middle grey, I just want to try and darken it down a little tiny bit. If that's middle grey, that's not going to look right. So I don't think so anyway. So we'll soon see. Let's have a look. I'll shoot one at 30th and one at 15th and see how it comes out, both at f11. In fact, I've got enough film in here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot what the meter said. I'm going to go for 1/8 of a second, then 15th, and then 30th. 30th is what I reckon. So we'll soon see in the on the negs how we get on. Right. Get the cable release. Okay, nice clean lens. Take the bag off. Right, advance the frame. So I'm going to shoot one at 1/8 of a second. There it goes. What's going on here? Shutter's got stuck. What's happened there? Oh. Camera's gone doolally. Oh. I just pressed the shutter and it's got stuck. That's strange. So how about this one? I think the battery's just gone on my camera. Oh, shit on the shit. Oh, my battery's gone on the camera. I've got to go and get a battery. What a blood of shit this is. I've got my GoPro. Unbelievable. I just put some money in the parking meter as well. And now I've got to go off to a shop and try and find a battery for this camera. Oh joy, it's that kid. It's that Damien kid. He looked over and he waved at me. I looked at him and I waved back and my camera fell over and then my battery's gone. Nightmare. I just went up to the local dispensing chemist and got some new batteries for the camera. Luckily I had some, so I'm back en route, back towards the bench. What a nightmare. It's that kid's fault, I'm telling you. If I see him, I ain't going to wave at him again. Here we go. So that's a lesson learned, isn't it? Make sure your batteries are right before you come out with your camera. So when I get back, I'm going to test all my batteries in my cameras, because that was a real pain in the arse. If that was a Sunday, I might have been screwed. Today's Friday. Right, let's get back on. What I can't remember what he's doing now. 1/8 of a second, done. 1/15 of a second coming up, done. And last one, 1/30th of a second. So I reckon it. So some geezer's decided to stop right there and take photographs of his wife. Yeah, we get it, we get it. Yeah, you got the picture now? Good. 1/30th of a second. Got a feeling my composition is just slightly off. It's, I'm going to intend to go 10x8 in the darkroom anyway. So I've just got back from shooting the bench. I've got 3 photographs in the camera of that already, which is great. I was going to cut them out of the camera and develop just those 3, but on the way back to the car, I've seen these reeves. So I've positioned the camera and I've got the sky, that nice white blanket going on, and these reeves. So when the wind blows, well, it ain't blowing at the moment, but when it does, they should rock a little bit and give you some nice, a little bit of motion blur, you know, in the camera. I'm just going to do incident reading. Well, they're blowing now. So about the same, F11, 1/30th of a second. So again, I'm going to bracket 8, 15 and a 30th, just because I can really. Gotcha. Done. Right, we'll get back, develop the film. Oh, what a mission. Before I carry on, check out the new S-Flab Beginner's Guide to Film Photography and Darkroom Printing. It's a complete beginner's guide from buying your first camera and developing film at home all the way to making your first darkroom print. Packed with lots of information, illustrations and exclusive unseen step-by-step videos, all in a simple and easy way to understand, with personal email support from me along the way. Hit the link in this video's description or visit the S-Flab website for more details. So I'm back from the wind and the rain and that Damien kid. Here's the negatives on the light box here. You see that was the first one I did at 1/8 of a second at F11, which was my meter time for middle grey. I spot metered on here, remember, for middle grey. Then I went 1 stop under, which was 1/15th of a second, and then another stop under as well, which was 1/30th of a second, all F11. And you can see the difference in tonality on the wall. You can see that one is probably going to be quite light compared to the other two. And as we go down, that wall's a little bit tone darker, or shade darker, and that's a shade darker still. I'm actually more prone to go with this one, but we'll soon see. I need to make a quick contact sheet and see which one's going to look best printed. And then the other ones I did of the reeves, the wind really was blowing there at that point. I went backwards this time. I went from 30th to 15th to 8th of a second, and the wind really kicked up at this part of the reeves. That looks quite effective. I don't know what this looks like, but we'll print this as well on the contact sheet. This was 15th of a second, and this was 8th of a second. So we've got 8, 15 and 30. These ones look not too bad actually. Bearing in mind they were slower shutters as well, look. But this one, the wind really went crazy. So there's my contact print that I've just made, and they look nice, just as I thought. This one's come out kind of middle grey, exactly what I exposed for. And then I went the 1 stop under and 1 stop under again. I don't know how it's coming through on the camera, but I prefer this one here. It might look inky black on your set or on your phone or whatever. I can see detail in that. So this is probably the one that I'm going to go for. I don't really want to do much fussing, dodging and burning, so if I can get it right first time, that would be great. And with the reeves, that actually looks really effective. I'm going to have a little print of this one here where the wind's blowing. Don't like these two, they're a bit too sharp. That one is a bit more dramatic. So this is that negative on the baseboard. I'm just using my template to try and get a decent crop out of it. Do you remember? I'm going to crop the road out actually. Do you remember when I said as I was shooting it, I don't think my composition was quite as good as I thought it was. The bench was just slightly over towards the left. So I'm going to get that centered and make sure, and also the horizon wasn't dead straight, so I'm just going to try and do that here. This is a 35mm print that I'm actually cropping into 10x8, so I've allowed for a little bit of cropping on that. So let's see how that looks. Just going to measure my horizon, 13 centimeters from the top, Right, the horizon's bang on, that's good. And some people ask me in the comments sometimes, why don't I have a proper easel? Have you seen the price of those easels? They're so expensive. You know, I could get a 6x6 back for my Mirror RZ for that. So that's the reason why I make my own, and I do well with them. I get by on them, so that's the main thing. You know, if you're going to do some DIY in your darkroom and it saves you some pennies and does the same job, then Bob's your uncle, you know. Right, let's get a focus on it. This is Ilford ID11 developer. I said the other day on the video, this is such fine grain on this film. I think that's sharp. Alright, let's pop the 2.5 grade filter in. And just pull that aperture down a bit. Do 5.6, that'll do. And we'll make a test strip. And I'm going to go across the bench. I'm not going to worry about the sky. I'm just going to put my test strip across the bench. And which will also be the wall as well. So we'll see the best times to project my negative onto the paper. Right, let's put that over the bench. 2 seconds. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, 12. Let's see how that looks. So these are my times here. You can see I've got 2 seconds, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. 12 don't look too bad actually. I know on the camera it looks probably jet black, but I can see in the darkroom white lights here that are on, it has got some detail in it. But however, I'm thinking that 10 is going to be much better for my print. Also the bench. With 12 I've got some little bit of detail in the sky there. That's gone a bit darker grey, but there's a bit too much detail, so I'm going to go for 10 seconds. It looks good there and it looks good there, so just going to do one more test print at 10 seconds and see what it looks like. And there it is, that's 10 seconds. That is the exposure that I pretty much was going to shoot at until I decided to take one at 1/8 of a second, 15th, that's 1/30th of a second, f11, and it's come out really nice actually. So I'm going to make a larger print of this. You can see I've got all detail going on in this stone wall and here as well, and also the pavement. You can see totally different tone in the pavement area there, and the bench is nice and dark, still got detail in the bench. You can see the grain of the wood in the bench, and the sky, I'm not sure if I've managed to get tone in the sky. I certainly do want it, but I won't know that until I make a print and have a look at the border. So we'll go for a larger piece of Kentmere now, stick that under the under my makeshift template easel, and hopefully I'll be able to see separation between the border and the sky in our print. I'm hoping so. Anyway, if not, I'll have to go back to the drawing board. George is barking out in the garden. George, shut it! Okay. 10 seconds. I'm going to do one little tiny bit of jiggery pokery on this. I'm just going to burn very slightly the bottom of that brick wall. Just got a feeling, to me it just looks, it's going to look a bit too bland, so I'm just going to come up and go down very slightly up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all I did was just come down, creep down, so it just gradients to the bottom. So right, let's put it in the developer and have a look. In it goes. So I'm just fingers crossed that the sky isn't the same brightness as the rest of the paper. I hope there's some separation. There should be. Doesn't look like there is, or is there? I can't see at the moment. I don't think there is, so I might have to make that myself just by burning that in, but that's no big deal. So I've converted the video camera to black and white. I'm not over impressed with it, to be honest with you. I don't know how it looks on your screen, but it's just a bit flat. I need to just pull a little tiny bit here, I like, or maybe just maybe make this pop a little bit more, the pavement along here, which I might do. I might just pop that a little tiny bit more. So I've realigned the print. Let's try this one again. I'm going to use this pen, so you can see on that screen there, I'm going to use this pen so I dodge the, just for a few seconds, dodge that pavement. So let's go for the 10 seconds. There it goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, that'll do. Now I'm just going to burn it into the bottom, like I said before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just a slow graduation. I'm just going to do an extra 5 seconds on that sky. Hopefully I can nail this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just blended it through slightly. Let's see how this looks. So that's better, that's a better result. I can now see detail in the sky where I just burned it in for an extra 5 seconds. And then I dodged the pavement as well, just makes it pop a little bit more. And then the bottom, I just slowly burned it in. I don't know how it comes out on the screens. Whenever I watch it back, my prints always seem blacker than they are. But it is what it is. But yeah, looks nice. And when you compare the two together, that's the one that I lost the detail in the sky. So I just managed to burn it back a little tiny bit on this print, not too much, only 5 seconds, and you can see the difference in the pavement. That kind of pops. This one stays a bit muddy. So in the end, I decided to do a little bit less time at the top. I just felt that trying to burn the sky in a little bit too much, like I was for 5 seconds, it was just introducing a bit of grain around here, and I didn't want that. So I decided to leave it as it was. You could still see a slight separation between the sky and the border, which is great for me. And then I decided not to dodge the pavement. I just felt it looked a bit too white. So I've pretty much, all I've done here was just about 2 seconds in the sky extra, and just a little tiny bit down here. I didn't dodge the pavement, and I think it looks much better. So I got up this morning and I had a bee in my bonnet that I wanted to go back and take the photograph of that bench, because I liked the idea that the sky was like a big white blanket. And that's pretty much what I've come back with. I did try to burn it in, and then I just started to see grain, and I thought to myself, well, why try and change something that wasn't, you know, when I was staring at the sky, as you can see on the video camera, it was a white blanket. But I managed to get separation from the paper on the sky, which is the most important thing. I didn't intend to shoot the reefs, although I did take 3 photographs of them, and I printed one. It ain't that great. I'll just flash it up for you to see now. And I have shot that Silvera 100 film in the past, and I do like shooting it. It gives out some nice tones, and it's a good solid film. I've never had any problems with it, mainly because Damien hasn't been in a darkroom with me. But no, it's a good film to shoot if you ever get hold of it. I think it's the same as Orwo UN 54 or 54. I can't remember which way round it is. But I think it's the same as the Orwo film, which you can buy in 100-foot rolls, which I'm going to be doing soon. And thanks a lot to all the guys that support me on Patreon and on the YouTube community channel. Thanks for watching, if you watched till the end, and I'll catch you next time. Happy Halloween to everybody. And don't forget, for those that are starting out in film photography or darkroom printing, I put together a great little PDF for beginners, and if you want to jump on the link that's in the description of this video, there's bags of information in there with illustrations and also exclusive videos as well, just put together for the guide. So jump on there and have a look.